This time, I'm going to use GeoGebra to construct a line perpendicular to a given line through a point on that line that we start with. So here I am in GeoGebra, and the first thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need a few more tools, because this doesn't give me all the tools I need. First, I start by creating my starting line, which I'll just put here. Doesn't really matter where it is. And then my perpendicular line this time needs to be through a point on this line. And I will go ahead and create a new point C for that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to build on that perpendicular bisector skill that you should already have. And we're going to make a line that is perpendicular to this one through this point C. And I'm not going to just use the perpendicular line tool that's built into GeoGebra because I'm practicing using my more fundamental tools. Later on, when I'm trying to solve some other more complicated construction problem that I'm trying to figure out, I don't know, several units from now, if I'm trying to use construction for something, sure, I can just use this as a shortcut because I'll know that I have these more fundamental skills and I'm just offloading that part to the computer. But right now we're practicing our fundamental skills. So what I need to do is I need to set up some relationships like I'm doing a perpendicular bisector. So I've already got some points here. So I'm going to go ahead and use AC as my radius. I could create even more points for this, but I'm making a choice that that's a good enough radius. And because I chose AC, A will be one of my points for my next step. If I hadn't chosen AC, I would have to create a new point there. As it is, I do have to mark the intersection over here. And now these points are each a radius of the circle centered at C. So they're the same distance from each other. So now if I choose something that is slightly larger than AC, I'll go ahead and create another point. I'll put it over here. And I know that CE is larger than this radius because E is outside the circle. So if I create a new circle with this radius and I center it at A, it'll extend exactly as far as one with the same radius centered as D. These are each the same distance past C. And so they set up a relationship with their intersections here and here being exactly the same distances from each other that allow me to create a line perpendicular through this FG. And that is how you can construct a line that is perpendicular to another line through a point on that line. And since I have it in GeoGebra, I can check my work using the angle measurement tool. Every perpendicular line, that'll make a 90-degree angle. That's part of what it means to be perpendicular, is that that angle will be 90 degrees. So that's a way I can check my work. That's something I should do when I'm done to check my work, rather than rely on to kind of try to eyeball it until it says 90. But it's a way I can check my work to make sure that I do indeed have a parallel line.